Hello. Welcome to today's coaching. What I want to talk to you guys about today is it plays in with the money mindset stuff that we have been talking about. It's a bit more practical in terms of how we can start shifting our mindset around money and around bringing in clients and some actionable things that you can do around that. And what I want to touch on today, excuse me, because this is a super common question that I get almost every time I talk to a dog trainer. This is the question that comes up. And some of you have reached out to me about this too. So I wanted to put this here in the group for you. And that question is, when someone emails me or contacts me through my Facebook page or leaves a voicemail and says, how much are your services? Do I respond with how much those services are? Do I just send them an email or reply via Facebook, reply to the message? And the answer to that is a resounding no. Okay, we do not want to be putting our rates and what we charge and sending it in a text format until we've had a conversation with that person, okay? And the reason for that is that there's a couple different reasons. If I'm sure you get these emails, the only text in the email is how much, or that's just the subject line and there's nothing in the text, it's just how much. So typically, if that is how someone is, or if that's what someone is emailing you about, then they are not a client that you want to work with, right? If that is their concern around dog training is just how much, then they're not going to be an ideal client. They're not a client that you want to be bringing in and working with most of the time. Obviously, there's exceptions to stuff, but if we start viewing, or we start really being specific about who we want to work with, rather than just, oh my God, I have to take everybody who comes on board, that starts shifting our mindset away from scarcity to abundance, right? And away from, oh, there's not enough clients, so I have to take everybody, even the ones who I know aren't going to do the work, or the ones who are going to, argue with me every step of the way, or the ones who are going to leave me a bad review because they didn't do the work, right? And we start shifting to, there's plenty of people with dogs out there. And if my rates are set accordingly, then I can relax a little bit at who I take in, right? We're going to talk about raising rates next week. But so generally speaking, those people who say how much, you sending a reply with the amount there, that's the last you're going to hear from them, right? You're not going to hear from them at all. And getting on the phone with them allows us to weed out and see, are you actually this client who I don't want to work with? Or are you someone who is in a super big rush and hit send before you intended to, or whatever it happens to be? So that's the first reason. Because what I want you guys to start remembering and shifting your headspace around is, when you're talking to a client, a potential client about coming on board with you, it's an interview process both ways, right? It's not just them asking you questions and you're trying to convince them to use you. You're interviewing them to make sure that they are someone that you want to work with as well. Okay, so it's an interview process that goes both ways. And you need to be on the phone with them to figure out that information. And secondly, you cannot convey the value that you bring and the way that you can fix their problem and the way that you can help them in an email that says, I charge $150 a session. You can't. There's no way, right? And we have to understand that people will pay where they find value, right? What's a priority for them and where they find value, they will pay. And we cannot convey that value in text and in email. We just can't. And what dog trainers tend to do is we tend to go into here's the details of what you get. You get 3 1-hour sessions. I come to your house. We'll practice on the behaviors. You get email support. You get phone support. And this is how much it is. That is not going to sell people in. It's not. Logic and details do not bring people on board. What brings people on board is the emotional connection to, yep, this person can fix my problem. Okay. So the trainers that are bringing in clients are the ones who are able to connect with them emotionally and go, I feel you. That's really super hard. And I can fix your problem. And here's what your life's going to look like after you're done working with me. Here's how I'm going to fix your problems for you. Right. Without giving any guarantees, obviously, right? We can't guarantee anything, but that is what you guys need to start looking at. Stop looking at the here's what you get in terms of the features of what you offer, and give them here's what you get in terms of the benefits, right? because that is what connects to people and makes them buy in and makes them hire you and makes them stay on board. And so you cannot give that to them. You cannot help them connect with that over email at all. You just can't do it. You need to get on the phone with someone so that you can have that conversation around, here's what I can do for you. Here's the value that I can add to your life. Here's how I can solve your problem. And to do that, here's how much it's going to cost you, right? That is how you're going to get people coming on board as clients, rather than, because you could have 50 people a week reaching out to you for help. But if you're not able to close them, if you're not able to connect with them and say, here's how I can fix things for you, and get them on board emotionally before you give them the amount of money, before you give them how much the investment is going to cost, you're not going to have clients closing. You're going to hear, okay, thanks very much. I'm just looking at the moment and I'll get back to you. Or thanks, I need to talk to my husband about it. I'll get back to you. Thanks for the information. I'm just doing some research at the moment and I've got a couple other people to call. I'll get back to you. Does that sound familiar? If that's happening, it's because you haven't connected emotionally to that person's problem and they don't feel or believe that you can help them or fix that problem for them or help them fix that problem, right? And that's what needs to change. It's not lowering your rates so that you're charging less than other people so that people will come on board with you. It's learning how to present your value to clients, potential clients, so that they feel like, oh my God, this woman is in my head. She knows exactly what is going on with me and she can help me. And she's even talking about, like, my biggest fear is being pulled down on the street by my dog who's 80 pounds and is dragging me along. And I'm really, really worried about being pulled down or losing control when I'm out and about. And she's telling me that she can help me get that without me having to say anything about that. She knows what this is like. And she's telling me that I can have a dog that I can actually just go for a walk with and he'll, just be on a loose leash and sniffing around. And wow, like that is my goal, to be able to go out to the park and watch my kids play at the park and take my dog with me. And I'm going to be able to do that after working with her. That's what I need, rather than, okay, great. So it's 3 1-hour sessions and this is the cost and this is what we'll work on, right? There's no competition there. So it's not about what you offer or how much you're charging. It's about connecting with the person and really helping them connect emotionally to the fact that you can help them and change that and help them fix that problem for them, right? And if you're sending an email saying, these are my rates, you're not doing that. You're losing money. You're throwing clients away, right? So so I get a lot of people like, oh, I don't have time to call clients. Like, I'm running around. And that's why all of this stuff is like a knock-on effect, right? That when you have your business system set up properly, that you've got your 80-20 rate done properly, you can have the time to call these people. But in the meantime, when you don't have that set up, you're sitting down to type out an email anyway. You don't want to be on the phone for an hour with these people. You want to have a bunch of questions that you take 10, 15 minutes to hop on the phone with them and connect with them emotionally and help them connect to the emotion of what it could look like after working with them. And so what I'm going to be putting together for you guys is some scripts on how to do that. So how do you have these 50-minute conversations with people? What do you ask? So what I want you to do is just post in the comments if that would be valuable for you, and I'll go ahead and I'll do that. And I'll give you guys some verbiage that you can tweak and make your own, but that you can follow along step by step, that really allows you to connect with people in a short period of time on the phone and allow you to present your value to them without having to spend an hour on the phone with everybody, right? So pop in the comments if that will be valuable for you. And what I also want to see is, like, what are you struggling with at the moment most? Are you struggling with people reaching out to you? Are you struggling with turning those people into clients? Are you struggling with keeping people long term? Are you struggling with raising your rates? What kind of stuff are you struggling with around money, so that I can make sure I put together some content for you guys that's helpful for that? All right, I look forward to hearing about that in the comments.